Okay, let's get started with looking at assignment 1, our first assignment. And when you get done with your first assignment, we're going to turn it in right in here. So we're going to get all three of your files together, your HTML file, your images folder, and your link to CSS file, zip it up and turn it in here. Okay, so let's look at assignment 1. Assignment 1, understanding the basics of CSS, working within a built model. So we're just going to go ahead and be looking at the inside of the CSS and just kind of changing some things. So we'll be using the beginning example as a guide, creating a page using CSS that reflects your favorite hobby. So where you want to find the beginning example is in our classroom. So here's our classroom, open that up, and then learning units, and week 2, and right here's the beginning example. So if you click on that and you download it, and mine is down here, so when it downloads you unzip it. Now for the homework, I'm going to have you guys change the file names. This one I'm not concerned as much about. We'll go ahead and call that the index now. And I do want this changed. Let's rename the beginning example. We'll call that, name it your name, and then assignment 1. Okay. And what we're going to do is when we open it up, and we'll take a look at it, and what we're going to do is we're going to alter the color scheme, and basically you want this to kind of reflect your hobby. So hopefully you can pick a hobby that has some colors that you would like and just kind of change that design to be your own design. And you can kind of see some other examples that have been done. I think this is the finished example, which I thought I had it up somewhere. This should be the finished example here. Looks something like this. So you can take a look at that one. That's another example of how it'll look. This is the beginning example. This is what we're going to start with. One of the first things you're going to need in the CSS class here is a source code editor. And there's a lot to choose from. You can download off the web. One of the ones we'll be using is this Sublime Text. Dreamweaver is another one. I think I've used some TextPad and Text Wrangler. I think for Windows, I've heard Notepad is pretty good. Another one, the one that I'll be using on this project is Visual Studio Code, which seems to work pretty decent. Okay, so for this assignment, we're going to change this layout into our own layout that reflects our hobby. I chose a hobby of darts, and so my thoughts on what kind of color layout I would like to do is maybe something along the lines of the colors you'd find on a dartboard: black, white, green, and red. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up our source code editor, and the one I am using right now is Visual Code Studio. So we'll open that up, and let's open our files. And I already named it my name and assignment 1, so that's it right here. Let's open that. And so inside you can see, here's my HTML. That's the code for the HTML. My CSS is inside the folder called styles, so this is the CSS file, which is named base.css. And I'm sorry, you can also see that in here. So, oops, in the styles folder called base. And then we also have an images folder, which you can open this up here to also see what's in the images folder. Okay, so let's get started. All right, the first thing we're going to do when we open it up and we look at our code is we're going to open up our index.html file. And the first thing is we'll see that there's a link that shows that it's an external style sheet that's going to be in a separate area away from our HTML file. So this here tells us it's a style sheet, and this tells us it's going to be CSS, and this is the folder, the styles folder that it's going to be found in, and the name of the file, which is the base CSS, which we can go on our desktop here and see, like I said, the folder, the styles folder, and the name of the file, base.css. Okay, let's see, the first thing we'll change is we'll go here to our title, and let's change our title first. I want to call mine About Darts. And okay, so let's look at our CSS sheet. And as we can see here, these are our selectors. So this is the masthead selector, and it's going to apply this style to the masthead that's in our index, our HTML file. So here's our HTML file, and here is our masthead. And this is the div section for the masthead, which, as you can see, that has all of the image and some of the nav links. So that would be this. Sorry, this section right in here. So this is our masthead div section. And as we're looking at divs, we'll also have the content area, which will be the main area right in here. And I think the other main area is going to be our sidebar. So here's the div section for the sidebar. That'll be over here. And then down below we've got our footer section. So that'll be down in this area. So those are div sections. So let's go ahead and start applying some color to our layout. So let's go ahead and start with the masthead and change that color. And so we got the masthead background color right here being the green. And one thing I like about this program is that it's got this nice color. So when you roll over that, it brings the color up. I want to try changing it to maybe a darker green. Let's try about there and see how that might look. So I'm going to save, and then I'm going to run it. And I think that looks pretty good. Let's take a look at the nav links here now. So I have our nav links here in the HTML. And right here's our colors. This is the background color, this is the text color. Let's change the background of the nav links to maybe, I was thinking like maybe that black color, but maybe not too too black. Put it up here in the green section. Maybe something like that. See how that might look. And white for the text. Guess we can keep that for now. So let me hit save. Refresh. Kind of looks okay. I'll try a little bit darker. That's one of the things I like about this is you can kind of really play around with it easily. Okay, save. Refresh. I think I like that a little bit better. Okay, so some other things that I might change to green is I might change this section, this rule, maybe the footer down here. So let's try to find this. Let's go to our HTML and see about T. So here's the about T. So it's in our content section. And then the footer is called the footer. Okay, so let's go into our CSS. Here's our content. So I think the H1B, let's try that one. In fact, let me go back up here and I'm going to copy. So I'll copy and paste. So I'm going to select that, hit edit, copy, and then come down here to the content. And we'll try to change that there to a darker green. Here's the H2. We'll see what that does. Oops, sorry. Edit, paste. Okay. And then down here for the footer. Right here. Hit paste. Okay. Hit save. You know, sometimes it takes a while for this to load up, but we'll see if it. So let's refresh. Reload page. Yeah, it looks like. Okay. So I think I got the footer. This little rule here. I still need to get this tag though. I'm going to go back up here to the content. Content H1. So this should be the background color, which I want it to be green. So let's copy and paste that one. So select, edit, the paste, and we'll change that one to, let's see, this is the color of the text. If you go back over here, you can see the purple text. We'll try that for white. Oh, and I forgot to mention that you can look up here, and this will give you the hexadecimal number, the HSL, which is the hue, saturation, and lightness. So sometimes you have to also watch out for this. Here, it'll give you the opaque to transparency. I know sometimes I forget about that, and it'll like be, what's going on here? So watch out for that, for the transparency here. It also will give you RGB if you want it in RGB. We'll go HSL on this one. And let's go ahead and save, refresh. And there you can see it, but we did lose our text before that. So let's see what was, go back to our index history. So it was H1B. Let's go back to this, H1B. And we'll just give it a little bit of a lighter green. See how that looks. Just kind of playing around here now. Okay. Save. Reload. It shows up. Probably could be a little bit lighter. Probably should be a different color, but we'll go with that for now. And let's see, what else do we want here now? Let's take a look at our layout. Let's look at our body. Let's give that a cream color, which just actually looks pretty good. How it is right there. So let's see. So I believe the body here is our main section. This looks like a good cream color. We'll make it a little bit orangey. So the text, I kind of like the text color too. We'll see how that looks. We'll do save and refresh. A little too chromatic. We probably want it to be a little bit more white, on the whiter side. Maybe a little bit grayer. That text almost a little too reddish for me. Let's change that up a little. Get it's a little bit lighter here, a little bit more on the white, and then the gray. Maybe a little less warm. Give it on the cool side. And we'll do save. Refresh. Yeah. That looks better. Okay. What else we got? Since I don't have any red yet, maybe we'll do the we'll look for these to change these little headers to be red. So let's go back to our HTML. See what is this? We got the form, T of the day. Here's the T of the day. Here's the form. So we're in the sidebar section. Okay, so let's go back to our CSS. Okay, so here's our sidebar. So I believe this is the color here, the form and the sidebar and the H3 and the form. So let's give that a reddish color. Something that would look like it would be on a dartboard. A little bit neutral, a little bit on the dark side. Okay. I'm going to hit Command S for save, reload. It's not too bad. A little bit more colorful. And then we'll try getting the backgrounds, maybe a little bit on the dark side. You know, I should probably pull this black right here. So down here on the sidebar. So let's go back up here. See if we can go back and find our black. Oh no, it was in our Nav Links. Here it is. So pull that color. Right down to our sidebar. Is that right? Oh no, wait. Background. Yes. Okay. And for the text color, let's see. Just so we know we're changing it, wasn't we? A bit more on the pink side. This will show as RGB. White's probably good, so let's save it. We'll just see how it looks. It's not too bad. Oh, I was gonna make these headers just a little bit more on the chromatic red, just a hair. Okay, save, reload. Yeah, this is probably not, almost a little too pinkish. A little more white. Okay, what else can we do? Maybe some of that footer. Okay, was that the text? Here it is. Okay. So footer in the P. So this must be the color here. So we're going to change that to white. Do a save. Refresh. Okay, just change the links there. Okay, we can kind of see how it. One way of going through and changing the color. Let's see, what else? What should we try next? Let's maybe the photos.